This is Lynn from Madajan's Herbals, and tonight we are going to talk about Mayan spirit egg cleanses. Now, so what you need in order to do a spirit cleanse is you need 2 eggs that are room temperature. Now, the reason you have 2 is in the event somehow one gets broken. So we are not going to, probably we're not going to use the second egg, but it's a good idea to have it. You need to have some salt. There's my salt. A white candle that you're going to let burn until it burns out. So I decided to use a tea light. Then you can use, you're going to need to have some sage or Palo Santo or cedar or frankincense incense, something that's going to purify the eggs. And then you are going to need to have Palo Santo or sage oil or a selenite wand to seal everything when you're done. You also need to have a glass of water that is at least half full. And to be honest with you, I just realized that I don't have any clear glasses. I've got cut glass and I've got glasses with pictures of fairies and things on them. So instead of a glass, I'm using a mason jar. If you are looking at doing this, there's 2 ways you can do an egg cleanse, okay? You can do the egg cleanse and then be done with it and take the egg in its entirety out and bury it someplace. Or you can open up the egg, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to open up the egg and take a look at it and read the egg so that you can see what is... use it as a divining tool. What energies were in you that are giving you problems. And so that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to look at the energy in the egg. So the egg is a special energy tool and container that takes on life and energy when used like a spiritual vacuum. All right? It removes whatever isn't necessary or vital to you. Obviously, there's no guarantee that it's going to work, but it has been used for centuries by shamans in the Mayan culture. They still have some down in Mexico, some Mayans down in Mexico that are doing it. So it's definitely stood the test of time. Now, like any other magic, you need to believe. If you are doing this and you don't believe, then you're right, it's not going to work. So, take that into consideration as well. So, when do you do an egg cleanse? When you're feeling tired or sluggish or in a bad mood? When you lost your job or are suffering unexpected problems? When you distance yourself from friends or partners for no apparent reason, when you begin to have, for no apparent reason, nightmares, insomnia, or suffer mishaps and unexplained accidents, at the moment of wanting to start a new project, business, or career path, when you need a deep cleanse in your life to get rid of all negativity, and especially when you have the perception that your path is being blocked. So we went over what we all needed to have. And now we need to prepare the eggs for the cleanse. So the first thing that we're going to do is light the candle. Okay, and the second thing that we're going to do is light the sage. All right. So now, the very first step I already took care of because I don't have a camera person to follow me around the house. So the first thing you're going to do is take your eggs and wash them by running water over it under the faucet. And when you're doing that, you want to picture your egg being cleansed of any energies, stating your purpose for the egg. So the purpose for this egg is to spiritually cleanse Lynn Madishon. And that was all done in the kitchen where I had water. All right. Now you're going to want to find a private place to do this. You're not going to want to be interrupted. So you're going to want to, I mean, nobody lives here with me, so nobody's going to come interrupt me. But if you live with somebody, make sure that they know that you are going to be indisposed for a little bit of time, and then not worry about having them watch what you're doing. So the sage already went out. Now, another good idea is to smudge your house before you do your egg cleanse, because then your environment is nice and clean as well. Okay. So what you're going to do is say an opening prayer or affirmation to your spirit guides, ancestors, the archangels, whoever it is that you want to have assist you with this. And so I am going to ask my spirit guides, my ancestors, and the goddess Diana to please be with me and assist me during this cleanse. Thank you for coming to help. Now you're going to pass your egg through the smoke of your sage or whatever you're doing. Okay, and I'm going to pass both of them so that if I need to use two, we'll be okay. All right. And again, please leave only energies for my best and highest good within my body. Now hold your egg in your hands close to your heart and imagine it being blessed with divine white light. I'm asking the egg to be a spiritual tool to remove all negative and misaligned energies from my body, my heart, my mind, and my aura. If the egg breaks, it's because there is a lot of energy. It doesn't mean anything about good or bad. It's just too much energy. So we have the second egg so that we can continue with this process. But if your egg breaks, don't panic. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start at my crown chakra, at the top of my head, and I'm going to run this egg all over my body, and it's going to go in the front of my body, on the back of my body, on the top of my feet, to the bottom of my feet. And so the reason I've got the camera set the way it is because now I'm going to stand and do this, and then you'll be able to see at least a little bit more of me doing this, and it is going to, we're going to see how it goes. All right, so I'm going to start here at the crown. I'm going to come down the forehead. I'm going to go down my nose and over my eyes. around my ears and my chin, my other ear, and then my neck. I'm going to go around the back of my neck, and then I'm going to do the back of my head. Then I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see again. Okay, then we're going to come my shoulders and my arms and my hand and my other shoulder and arm and my hand, and then down my stomach. Now I'm going to go on my back, and obviously that's not going to be as easy because I don't bend that way. You can do this by yourself, or you can have somebody do it for you. So whichever works best, okay? Now we're going to go on my legs. And my feet. And my other leg. And my other foot. Now when you smudge yourself with smudge, do you remember to lift up your feet and smudge the underneath of your feet, the bottom of your feet as well? It's a good idea to do that. Okay. So, the cleanse is done. Now, if you have a particular problem like joint pain or something, make sure you get the egg really well around that part of you that hurts, because if that's energy that's causing that pain, that has been known to help. Okay, now what we're going to do is read the egg. So I'm going to move a couple of things around here. And we're going to crack the egg and put it in the water. Now, put aside the eggshells, but you're not going to use them again. You don't repurpose them. You don't make them into cascarilla, because it has taken all of the negative energy out of your body. And so any other magical use would be tainted with that negative energy. So this particular eggshell I will be throwing away. All right. Now, what we're going to do is look at the egg. Now, typically what will happen is the egg will stay down at the bottom. If you are, if it floats, you've got one or two things going on with that egg. One is that you need some energy work done. Two is you got an old egg. So what you want to do is, before you choose your egg, take the egg just like this and put it in a pan or a bowl of water where it is totally submerged and has, like, you know, a big amount of water on top of it. If the egg stays down on the bottom of the bowl, the egg is fresh and good. If it stands up like this, then the egg, it's still good, but it's getting older. And if it pops up to the top and floats, get rid of the egg. It's not good. It's too old. So there's your, if you've had some eggs in your refrigerator for a while and you're not sure, do the egg float test. Now, the other thing is what I needed to do and I didn't, is I've got sage oil here, and that's what I'm going to use to seal the energy work that just happened. And I am going to do that by putting it on my fingers and then rubbing it on my forehead and down my nose. And that just closes off anything that we already did. Okay, so now as we're looking at this egg, the egg yolk is yellow, but it has a covering over it, like a bubble, that is part of the egg white. There are spikes coming up. You can't see this, but this is kind of an interesting thing. So go ahead and make sure you try it. The egg white has some like needles that have come up, and there are bubbles on top of the needles. So if we go to how to read your egg, I'm going to take my glasses off so I can read these. If there are bubbles and balloons, energy was absorbed. There was too much negative energy around, and I was feeling tired and irritated, and that's actually pretty true. If the bubbles are surrounding the egg yolk, that means your spirit guides are surrounding you. And right now, I've just got one big bubble around it. Spikes, needles, and threads can mean that there is that a more deliberate energy was pulled from the aura. Facing down, it's a symbol that you have a lot of anger that you have not let go. Facing up means that you are sharing your energy. So let's see. The water is not cloudy. The water is very clear. And so there's nothing unnatural has occurred, and there's no more need for actual cleanses. If the yolk sinks to the bottom, it means that all negativity was removed. If the yolk is grayish or cloudy, somebody is sending you the evil eye. If there are any red or black spots, which there are not any in here, that can mean that somebody is putting a curse on you to affect your health and well-being, or you're being warned of a health issue that is present. And a blood spot is a sign of an evil entity is around you. Okay, so the egg white, the halo surrounding the yolk, which is the bubble that I saw there, it means that I'm making decisions too quickly and I need to slow down and get back on track. And then you look and you see if you see anything like signs of a people or other different things, I will tomorrow put this on online so you can see the different what the different things mean when you're looking at your egg. It is if you see the meaning, if you see like an animal in there, or you see an insect, look it up, because it means that there's a message coming to you in the form of that animal's medicine. it is additional information on this is you can do it any day. There isn't a particular day you have to do it on. And the hour, it doesn't mean you can do it at any time in the hour. If you're doing it in the lunar phase, you probably want to do it in the waning phase, which coincidentally is where we are, because you're trying to banish the negative energy, and so that's the time of the moon that is going to help you with banishing. Make sure that you've got everything that you need before you start, because if you have to keep popping up and go getting different things, then it is you lose your focus. Now, what we're going to do with this egg is, this is where the salt comes in. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in the water. And then when I hang up with you folks, I'm going to go dump this down the toilet so that it goes out to Mother Nature, to the earth and everything, and so it gets out of the negativity, gets out of my house and doesn't go to somebody else's house. Now, if you have a septic tank, do not do that. Instead, take it someplace else and dig a hole and bury it, because it will harm your septic tank. So you don't want to do that. I'm feeling pretty good. It's kind of, I'm really enjoying looking at how this egg is moving. And one of the spikes is now almost up to, it's keeping growing, and it is up to the top almost of the water. So that is a really interesting thing that it's doing. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and write them here on the page, and I'll answer them as best I can. A shop alert is, I am going to, the store is going to be closed this Saturday. I'll put a note out on the page. I have a funeral to go to, and so, and it's right smack dab, you know, like at 1 o'clock, and so it doesn't make sense to me to open the store for what would basically be 30 minutes in order to have the drive time to where I need to go. So I'll be back on Tuesday like normal, and I think we might be talking about crystal grids next week. So if you are interested in that, that will be next Wednesday. And thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you to the person who suggested doing the Mayan egg cleanse. It was a lot of fun to research it and then do it. So take care, have a wonderful weekend, and blessed be.